Welcome back to Blackacre Ranch, everyone. All right, another episode here. Today we've got to give you an update actually on this house and all the progress we've been doing. You've seen it in probably the episodes. I actually don't even remember where we left off. We just got done with about a week's worth of rain and we haven't made much progress recently. So we're going to give you an update on some calves. I said plural, the house, and hopefully finish up the rest of the roofing. So stick with us. We'll go over all those details for you guys. Okay, so let's start with the Rio Max update. This is our lick tub contraption thing that we built. Perfect, guys, perfect. We love it. Everything's going well. When we started doing this Rio Max, it was April 10th or 11th. It was supposed to last 6 weeks for 12 animals if they were eating a quarter pound a day. We are now, today's June 1st. So that means we've gone an extra 2 weeks and they still haven't gone down through everything. So we think what we're doing has helped. I think having this kind of containers helped. Putting the salt in there has helped. And it's just been really, really good. So their consumption hasn't been crazy. Hey, little dude. What's up, dude? Anyway, as Ahmed comes and steals the show. So anyway, things have been going really well there. We're trying to get the animals moved from the other pasture. You can see that all the grass is now in this rotation period where the cool seasons are dying and the summer grasses are supposed to be coming up. So this is kind of dying off. Ahmed, you're just going to make us walk around the truck, aren't you? You know something's here. We did open up this gate that was right next to Ahmed, and we let them eat all the grasses that were kind of here. And we even opened it up into there. So they have had all this area to go, and pasture 4 is looking a little down. So we're going to move them over here. You just think I have something for you, don't you? So pasture 5 looks like it's ready to go. I have not fed hay much at all. So the months of March, I think I fed 2 bales. April was 1 bale. May was none. And last year we kind of had a 3-month period where it was like that. June it started picking back up, and we're gonna see how long these things last before I have to drop another bale. So whatever. That's a whole nother conversation, I'm sure. Just know seasons are changing, and with all this rain, I'm hoping we can continue on with the good grasses here. So let's get them moved over to 5. First thing we got to do is find the buffalo. We're driving in pasture 4 here, and I think when we came up, we saw him near towards the front gate. So that's like a 1/3 of a mile out here. But Ahmed, I thought, was over with them, and he all of a sudden's with us. So we're hoping they're still in the same spot and that we can find all the ladies. With all this rain, the center of this pasture got to be a lake. And it's the first time we've seen a lake form or a puddle, but it's still there. Well, they're sitting here. All right, let's see if we can bait them. Dog, you want to rattle the cubes? Here she comes. All right, let's reposition. Now while they end up coming, we got a couple options. We can take them back up through the feed area, or we take them through a separate side gate that kind of just straight shots into pasture 5. And with the calves, we're afraid that if we took them to the feed area, it may be more difficult for the calves. So we're gonna try up top here at this other gate and see if they come along with us. Hey, Nadine.
detour right over there. It's fine. Watch out. Come on.
Film them.
Is that all of them? I feel like we're missing somebody. There she comes. There we go.
We got everybody. We're gonna shut the gate now, and that was smooth. We had a calf born, I think, on the 15th. Then we had one born, I think, the 25th, and one born just a couple days ago on the 30th. I don't know which one that was that just ran through, but now we have 3 of the 11. We're looking for 8 more. You know, again, last year we tried getting pregnancy tests, but we couldn't get them all. So I don't exactly know how many are actually pregnant, but 3. So 3 of the 11. I'm not going to be too concerned until we hit July. So hopefully June starts pumping these things out. We'll see. But if you also haven't noticed, I gotta mow sometimes. So this is crazy back here. We'd get a lot better grass if I just mowed the lawn. All right, it's time for this house update, guys. We made a lot of progress at different times of day, at different times of the week. So we've been fighting, as you know, this rain is coming. And so really what happens is we try and work some on the Saturdays as much as possible. We make some good progress, but then we get to the weekdays and the storms are happening and we're trying to let things dry out. We're trying to make some progress when we can. And it may mean that, you know, we come out and we get an hour here, we get 2 hours here. So I apologize, it's not a, this is how we did the entire roof, one whole clip, because it just doesn't happen that way. All right, so behind us, the garage. You'll notice my wife and kids came out and they sprayed everything with a primer. They did kills, we got a spray gun, and they just sprayed it. So you've seen that in some of the pictures. We got the metal roof going. We were gonna actually film it. We got an intro, we got everything going for this metal roof. We got 3 sheets in. It wasn't drilling through as well as we thought it would. When we did the well house over there, we apparently had shorter screws and it was easier just to drill without having to pre-drill. This was just a nightmare. The sun was also blaring super bright. I could hardly see the sheets. And it got to be one of those where we had to just take a pause for a second, reassess, and so then we started drilling and measuring out all the purlins for the spacing. So the purlins being these horizontals, we measured them all up. They're all 32 inches apart, and we would come by and drill it. And I think this is actually still drilled. You can see the holes. So this one's already drilled. We're waiting to go up. We have that little section left, and we piecemealed this over a number of days. And we were able to pull the trailer in here, super nice. Actually, it's really nice in here. The garage being 24 feet deep, it really gives us some room. But we've been able to make a lot of headway on this. So we've got about, I think it was 4.5 sheets left up here, and then we will be done with this section. Just have to do the ridge cap and then the flashing up on the side. Once the flashing's done, we start putting T111 up here, and we want to get the roof up first, which we've been actually doing really, really well. You can kind of see that. Look at that, guys. All right, concrete. Concrete's dry. We've been making use of it. Oh, house wrap. Gosh, dang it, man. There's just so much. Oh, and windows. All right, so house wrap. My brother and his wife, Nathan and Tiffany, came out. Super huge help. So when we were doing the roof on the far side of the house, Talmadge and I, my son, before he left, we got all of that done. And Tiffany and Charla and my brother Nathan put this house wrap around, and that's been just really nice. Gosh, they got it all done. And it's just been helping, especially with all this rain. I've just been so worried about this sheathing swelling and getting wet. We still have some wetness that comes from some rains, but we just had literally 2 inches of rain. Earlier in the week, we had another 2 inches of rain. So we've had 4 or more inches of rain just in the last 5 days. We still have to get this gable end done. That's part of the problem, but we're working on this roof. So this last weekend, brutal hot, trying to get this roof done. We got the sheathing down and we did not get the top done. We got one more row to do. That's what we're gonna do today. And then that will be done. Let me show you the front side of the house. As you can see the roof. So we got the underlayment on and all the verticals. We're gonna then end up putting horizontal purlins and the metal roof on top. That'll give us an air gap to let heat go. This patio has been really, really nice actually, having this done. We can drive the tractor up here and lift all the sheets up. So our process is just going over there, grabbing the sheets on the fork. We pull the fork with the tractor all the way up here and just lift this thing up. And it kind of just sets it right on top and we can grab it and do whatever we want. So, other thing, windows. We have windows. We're still missing 2. Windows are coming next week, but they are here. Now that we have this, we can start installing them. Once we install them, then we can put the outside sheathing up. And then that's the T111. Get that all painted, put that all up. And then we can start getting the electrical and the water pipes drilled in and so forth. So it's just a whole domino thing. What leads to what? What can we get done now? What do we have to wait on? All those things. Once I get that dried in up top, it's all this patio cover stuff. So I'm trying to get material list for that, get deliveries. Yeah, so it's just taking a little while, guys. The rain, I'm glad to have the rain, but it does cause complications. You know, there's always trade-offs and everything. I will say, I am super proud of the fact that our roofing is very well spaced with these sheets of plywood. I was hopeful that it would be that way, and I was concerned that I would do such a sucky job that it wouldn't have worked, but it's working. It's working really, really well. The task today now that I've given you that update is to finish that last top layer of plywood. We'll kind of show you some video of that and get the underlayment and these verticals. I call them vertical purlins, but verticals right along the trusses. Anyway, let's get towards working on that house on the rooftop. How's this looking?
Last 2 are pretty wet.
Are they still pretty wet?
They're on the bottom, so they've been stuck in this moisture. So if we get them up there and just kind of lay them up and see how they dry while we work.
This is the problem with OSB, and the reason why I don't like having material sit around very long. It swells, especially with all this rain. We had to deal with that some on the front ones because that was the top stuff that was in that big pile. It was used first, so the front bottom corner. I mean, it all worked out, but I don't want things getting too wet, especially when we're standing on them 20 feet in the air. All right, let's get this thing over there and kind of get back up on the roof and get going. Here's the elevated view. You can see the 3 rows that we've already got done. One left. Now, from the first side that we did, we actually have an overhang of about 1 inch, 2 inches. So we're gonna have to get the circular saw and we are going to trim this entire run all the way down before we can put the next row up. So that's my fun job to do this morning. I had forgotten about that. Dang it. All right. Nothing to do but to just do it. So let's get to it. Watch the hose.
Okay, so Set them up in the open grab. Okay, right there.
Slide it down to the clip.
Down to the clip.
Put your foot on the brace or in the truss.
Not down to the clip yet. There you go. Put your foot right here. At a truss. Ready? Drop it. Okay. Now, we wiggle it onto its clips.
Her clip's annoying. There you go.
Pretty good?
Yeah.
Well.
Hold on, hold on. We're gonna need more.
There.
Clark, for like when you do this a little bit.
Even with the hammer.
Ready? Hammer.
Pull yours down. Last one's done. So we've got the entire row complete. Now it's just down to the felt and the underlayment. So we're not putting a tar paper, that's what it's called. We're putting this gray stuff. It's synthetic roofing. It's Felt Buster, I think is what it's called. It's from Home Depot. We're gonna step down though and take a break. I gotta finish trimming the cap here and at the ridge. But otherwise, man, you know, I had retired this hat because it's older, and every time I sweat, it's like turpentine dripping down. It's like this dark orange color, like it's pretty nasty actually. And this one doesn't have all the mesh up top, so I think it's hotter. So I've just been feeling it a little bit more today, but whatever. I need to buy another Michigan hat. I don't want to disappoint my fellow fans. All right, let's get this cracking, and then we're gonna be moving on to the felt. Whew, it's warm. I forgot to take off all these nails that are down at the ridge. So we put 2 nails for every sheet and at the truss, and then you bend it up and that tells you where the stud is. Well, I forgot to take those down, so Charlotte's picking those up. The first row is always the one that bothers me the most. It's always hardest. I don't like being on the edge of the roof, so it always takes like twice as long as the rest of the rows. But once we get that first one down, then you have something nice to walk on. Until then, you're just crossing trusses. So, all right, now we do this ridge.
Okay.
I will say, it's not my best cut. It's not my worst either. So this is just going to be used for maybe ventilation. We still don't know if we're going to use spray foam or bat insulation. So if we spray foam it, we're going to do the whole underside of the deck here. and then all the walls. If we do the bats, we'll just vent the top attic, not do the underside here, but just, you know, put probably blow-in insulation and then just all the red fiberglass or rock wool or something around the outside. So not sure exactly which way we're going to do it yet, but this is good enough just to get us a little bit of an air gap. All right, we got that done. So next thing that we're going to be doing today is the underlayment. Now, I'll tell you, it is over 70 degrees dew point and it's hot. You know what? Frankly, I'm not used to this. Our family isn't used to this being on the roof, and we have to sometimes go into our truck, turn the engine on and cool off and just sit there because it just gets a beat down. Literally, my shirt is soaking wet. These are old church white shirts, and I use them because I sweat like a hog, man. I am super sweaty. And this is the only way to mask how bad I really am. So this is the roof, guys. We're cleaning up now. I think we're gonna come back in the mornings when it's not so hot and get everything kind of done in the morning time frame, so that way it doesn't affect us so bad. We do have the underlayment, that's next, and we still have the gable end over here to still do, but look how dark it is. We've got that echoey feeling, stuff like that. So what we can do is start strategizing and kind of figuring out how we're gonna do things going forward, meaning that we can start putting up some of these interior walls perhaps once we get this underlayment down, and do those in the afternoons instead of being on the roof. So instead of doing the roof right now, we're gonna hold off since it's like 90 something degrees or something like that. And maybe during the week, I think my wife is gonna come with the kids and try and get some of this underlayment down. So strategy, guys, strategy. You can only do what you can do, and we don't wanna go do too much and pass out or stuff like that. But doing the first 3 rows, I got dizzy at one point, had to sit down. I mean, just, it was a brutal nightmare. I forgot we got the tractor. So we're gonna go get in the tractor and move that too. So anyway, we're calling it quits here, guys. We'll try and get you some videos of the underlayment. Really, it's just unrolling and nailing them down. So, you know, I don't think we're gonna provide any instructions on this that people can't quite figure out by just looking at it. So anyway, we'll keep you posted on things. Thanks for joining along with us. We're gonna let you go, and we're gonna go cool off. See ya, bye.